Hi everyone, I'm Sophia. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to work through a short, gentle Pilates sequence that's suitable for the second trimester. So we're going to come onto our mat to start with and just take a moment to comfortably come down, placing the weight in the back lower part of the skull, allowing the ribs to settle, organising the pelvis in neutral. So I always like to start in this position with a few rounds of breath, just to release any tension that may be stored in the body and allow myself to soften. So from here we're going to gently roll our pelvis, allowing our waist to come towards the floor, and then we're going to roll the tailbone down towards the mat. So gently articulating the pelvis, creating a little bit of flexion and extension to our spine. Just really gently mobilising that lower part of the back. Good. Lovely. And then from here we're going to start to work into our shoulder bridge. So we're going to come into that flex position with the waist heavy into the mat, push the knees away from us, and then gently peel ourselves bone by bone away from the floor, activating the glutes, finding length in the lower back. Inhale at the top, and then exhale. We're going to slowly soften from the sternum all the way down through the ribs to the waist, top of the pelvis, and then the lower part of the pelvis. Good, back to neutral. Inhale, exhale, tuck, scoop, hollow and roll the abdominals, push the knees away from you, find that length in the front of the hips and thighs, activate your glutes. Inhale, and then exhale, we're going to roll down. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, tuck, scoop, hollow and roll the abdominals, push those knees away from you. Find that sense of length in the front of the hips. Inhale at the top, finding your neutral, and then exhale, rolling all the way back down again. We're just going to do one more here. Really using this exercise to mobilise the spine. Push the knees long away. Inhale, find the activation of the glutes, and then exhale to roll ourselves all the way back down. Good. And then we're going to carefully take ourselves over onto one side. So we're going to organise our legs in our clam position for this next exercise. So both legs are bent, hips are stacked, waist is active, shoulders are stacked, using a block or a cushion just to support your head. From here we're going to lift the top leg up, press it behind us, and then circle the knee around. So we're stirring the thigh bone inside the hip to mobilise the hip. You're looking for the pelvis to stay nice and still. We're going to go for 3 more in this direction. And then last one. And then we're going to change the direction. So taking the knee in front, up and around, stirring that thigh bone inside the hip. Trying to keep the pelvis and body nice and still. One more. Good. And then relax that leg down. From here, we're going to extend both legs forwards towards the front bottom corner of the mat. So your legs are kind of at 45 degrees from your body. Your pelvis and spine are in neutral. Your abdominals are connected. So from here, we're going to slide the top leg up so your knee aligns with the hip. You're then going to keep the sense of support in your core as you internally rotate your knee towards your mat. You're then going to externally rotate the leg all the way out towards the ceiling. So it's like an extended clam exercise, working with a bigger range of movement, which is going to be a little bit more challenging to stabilise. Good. Let's keep it going for 4, 3, keep the length of the body and spine, 2, and then last one. Come back to that parallel position, slide the leg away, Lovely. And then from here, we're going to organise ourselves on our back again. So carefully rolling back onto your back, floating that same leg up to tabletop, so the leg you were just working. Neutral pelvis, you're going to pluck a cherry and fling it overhead. So this exercise is called cherry picking, so we can imagine we're picking cherries. But what we're doing is we're looking for the maximum range of movement at the ankle, knee and foot. And that stability of the pelvis as we work. You might get a nice hamstring stretch. Just go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then last one. Good, and then release. Place that foot back down to the mat. We're now going to switch over onto the other side. So you can just roll onto your other side. I'll just change the ends of my mat. So organising your head on your block or your cushion, or supporting with your hand if that feels more comfortable. Both legs are bent, soles of the feet line up with the back edge of the pelvis. Waist is active, pelvis is going to stay stacked, so are shoulders. Lift the top leg up, we're going to take it back and behind and then circle around. So stirring that thigh bone inside the hip, looking for the mobility of the hip. Keep it going for 2 more. Last one. Good, and then let's change direction. So we're going to come up and around. Good. Again, looking for the maximum range of movement at the hip that you've got available. Good, trying to keep the pelvis still and stable. 2 more here. Last one. And then let your legs rest for a moment. From here, straighten both legs so that your feet are at the front bottom edge of the mat. We're then going to slide the knee up, keeping that sense of support in your core, and then internally rotate your leg, and then externally rotate, trying to keep the pelvis stacked and stable throughout. Let's keep it going for 4 more. Feeling the activation to the glute, looking for the maximum range of movement available. 2, and then last one. Good, come back to that parallel position and then slide your foot down. Good, so from here we're going to come onto our back again. As we interlace our hands behind our thigh, we're now going to pluck a cherry and fling it overhead. So trying to maintain your neutral pelvis throughout. Let's keep it going for 4, 3, 2, and then last one. And release. Let that foot gently come down to the mat. Turn yourself over onto one side and then carefully bring yourself up so that you're seated. Good. From here we're going to come into a comfortable seated position. So you could use a long frog, you could cross your legs, or you could sit with your legs out in front of you if that feels more comfortable. Make sure to use a block or a cushion if you need to help lift you into that neutral setup. We're then going to take the hands behind the head. So interlacing the hands behind the head, find that sense of lift through the crown of the head. Let the elbows come forward into your peripheral vision. We're going to inhale here. As you exhale, we're going to come up and over, finding a nice side bend, keeping the pelvis nice and level. Inhale, come back, get taller. Exhale, take it over the other way. Inhale, come back, get taller. Exhale, we're going to go over the other way. Good. So working with your side bend, paying attention to the position of the pelvis. Good, let's do 1 more like this in each direction. And then we're going to come back to the centre, find that sense of lift in the body and spine, and then from here, exhale, we're going to rotate. Inhale, come back, get taller. Exhale, gently rotate. only going as far as is comfortable for you. And again, making sure that that pelvis stays nice and still and stable. One more in each direction like this. And then come back to the center. We're going to put those two movements into a little bit of a sequence. So from here, we're going to gently come over on the exhale for our side bend, keeping the pelvis still and stable. Keep that sense of lift in both sides of the waist. Inhale, come back to the center, then go the other way. Inhale, come back, keep all that length you can. Exhale to rotate on the next movement. Inhale, draw back to the center, get taller. Exhale, we're going to go the other way. This time we're going to alternate our starting side. So we're going to inhale in the middle. Exhale, we're going to come over, going to the second side first. Inhale, come back, get taller. Exhale, work in the other direction. Good. Inhale, come back. This time we're going to rotate to the second direction first. Inhale, come back, and then exhale, go the other way. Inhale, come back. Good. Repeating again, this time going to the first side first. Inhale, come back, get taller. Exhale, go the other way. And come back. And then again, add in that rotation. And come back, get taller. Exhale, go the other way. Inhale, come back. Good, lovely. And then last set, we're going to come over to our second side first. Inhale, come back, get tall. Exhale, work in the opposite direction. Inhale, come back, get taller. Good, then rotating. Good, going as far as is comfortable. Lifting to get taller, really thinking about the position of that pelvis for the last one. And then coming back when you're ready. Good, and then float the hands up and release the arms down. Good, roll your shoulders. Lovely, well done. So from here, we're going to come back down onto the mat. And we're going to organise the pelvis in neutral. So that's where hip bones, pubic bone are level and you're respecting the natural curvature of your spine. Good, arms are long down by your side, or you can place your hands onto your hips. Legs are parallel. We're going to exhale to let one knee drop out to the side, keeping the pelvis nice and still. And inhale to come back to the centre. Exhale, let the other knee come out. And inhale, draw back to the centre. Good, keep this movement going. Working one side then the other. Looking for the hips to stay perfectly still and stable, so everything stays balanced. If you wanted to work a little bit harder, you can lift the elbows away from the floor or reach your hands to the ceiling. But make sure that it feels appropriate for you and prioritise the stability of your pelvis. Good, let's do one more on each side. Coming back to the centre. Good, let the arms come down. Carefully roll yourself onto one side, and then we're going to come up into a high kneeling position. So coming up onto your knees for the next exercise. So with this exercise, we really want to make sure that the hips are pressing forwards and aligned over the centre of our knees. So we've got a little bit of activation in the back line of the body. We're going to connect ribs and hips. We're then going to float the arms up behind us, keeping the arms nice and long. We're then going to look over the left shoulder, pressing the hips forwards, come back to the centre, over the right shoulder, come back to the centre, float the arms up, rib cage closure. So look for the stability of the body, keep those hips pressing forwards. Lift the baby fingers behind. Starting again on the second side, you're going to look over the right shoulder. Come back, get taller, the left shoulder, press the hips forwards, come back to the middle, rib cage closure. So breathing steady and smooth. Good, keeping the length of the body and spine. So with this exercise, we're doing some really nice shoulder mobility and neck mobility. So it can help to relieve a little bit of tension. Also thinking about the stability of the body, the alignment of the pelvis and spine. Really good. Last one. And come back and release. Roll your shoulders. From here, we're going to come into 4-point kneeling. So this is our last exercise. We're going to place the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath our hips, and look for that sense of length in the body and spine. So we need to find our neutral pelvis, and that is where hip bones and pubic bone are parallel with the floor, and that you're respecting the natural curvature of your spine. Find that sense of lift in the ribs, so a little bit of core connection. We're then going to inhale to prepare. As you exhale, hug it in through the abdominals and reach through arm and opposite leg. If you can, float the arm and leg away from the floor. Inhale, lower the hand and foot down, and then slide back in. Exhale, slide the other side away, lifting up carefully, keeping the four corners of your body nice and still and stable. Good, so using the tummy muscles, your core to center you. As you move smoothly through your full range of movement. Try to maintain the integrity of your spine, so we're looking for the back to stay still. Remember to keep the head lifted. Let's keep it going. Good. Really nice, well done. Last one. Lovely, and then when you're ready, gently sit yourself back and relax. Lovely, so from here we're just going to roll our shoulders. Good, let the shoulders fall down in our back, lift through the crown of the head, and then gently take your ear over towards one side, down towards the shoulder, finding a stretch in the side of the neck. Breathe steady and smooth. Lovely, and then when you're ready, come back to the centre, keep that lift in the back of the head, and then take your other ear over to the other shoulder, finding that nice side stretch for the neck. Good. And then when you're ready, come back to the centre again, roll with the shoulders. Lovely. Just take a moment to register any shift or change that may have happened in the last 15 to 20 minutes. I hope you've enjoyed it. Well done, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.